Hello everyone, welcome to the AICTE project Visualizing Carbon Footprints Across Sectors Using Power BI. So from the project title you can understand that we are going to use Power BI in this case to analyze the carbon footprint across different sectors. So this is the week 1 of this project, and in this week 1 we are going to talk about the first plan is that first try to understand what is Power BI, the Power BI interface, how to use it, what are the different components of Power BI. Once we have understood that, then we'll start doing data loading into Power BI. Means how we can load the data to Power BI, how we can import the data to Power BI, and what are the different ways to do that one, what are different type of data sources we can import to Power BI. We'll see all the things. And after that, we will do a basic data cleaning if it is necessary, and then we'll do a basic data explorations or little bit of visualizations. So this is the plan about week 1. Now obviously in this case we need 3 things, right? The first thing is downloading the data. So where do we get the data? Collecting the data by, and then downloading the Power BI desktop. Correct? So now let's quickly do that one. Now first thing is let's collect the data. Now for this project I have given the link of the dataset that you can find here. It will be provided to you. Like in my case I have kept in a folder where I am having this project. So this is the project. I have created dataset folder. In the dataset folder you also have the dataset file and the dataset link. So you have to go to this dataset link text file, copy this link and paste on the browser. Okay, and hit enter. So basically this is a dataset link from Kaggle. You can see this Kaggle website. So Kaggle is a platform where you can have all the free public open source data. So anyone can go and use it. Now if you are doing this one for the first time, if you are opening this Kaggle account for the Kaggle website for the first time, to download the dataset, you need to log into this account. You need to log into this web platform first. So you can log into this platform using your Google account, and then you can click on download. And if you click on download, you'll download the data in zip file. I can just show you that one quickly. So you can see download the as a zip file, and you can download the in a zip file. After downloading the dataset, extract the data, and once you extract the data, it will look like this. So extract the data will be a dataset.csv file. CSV is nothing but comma separated values. Okay, so this will be the dataset. Now maybe you can create a folder for this project and keep this dataset in that folder, because we are going to load this dataset, right? Now after that, the second thing what we need is basically the Power BI desktop. So Power BI desktop is nothing but a software designed by Microsoft. So if you want to install that, you can go to Microsoft Store and you can search Power BI, and automatically you'll get an option Power BI desktop. Okay, this software is completely free. You can use it, anyone can use this one. So no need to pay anything, no need to log into this software. And here you can just get the option to download or get Power BI desktop. Click on that to download that one. Once this is done, once this Power BI desktop is installed, now let's go and open Power BI desktop from the start menu. So I'm going to Power BI desktop. I'm searching in the start menu and I'm clicking here. Now the window is going to open is known as Power BI desktop. It may take some time depending upon your system resource. It's little heavy software because it's very user friendly. Now whatever screen you're seeing is basically, you can say, welcome screen. And in this case you can see directly having an option to select data sources, if from where you want to connect the data to Power BI, and also having some recommended pages and some recently opened files. Now in our case we are going to create a new project. So in this case what we can do, we can open a blank report. It means we are creating a blank report Power BI. You can click on that to open that one, right? Now let's try to understand the user interface of Power BI. So the blank big space that you are able to see, white blank space, is known as canvas. right? So basically in this canvas only we are going to plot all the different type of graph to extract information from the data. And this canvas is basically a part of report view. So you are having different type of view in this Power BI desktop. One is report view, where you can build all the different type of graphs. You can see the template of the graphs. Then there is something known as table view. The second one is known as table view. Here you can see the tables which you have loaded. Okay. And then you're having a model view. Model view means if you have loaded multiple tables, then how can you create the relation between them? There is a data modeling that is known as data modeling. So all those things you can see here. So this was about the left part of the Power BI desktop. If you go to the right hand side of this Power BI desktop, then you can see these three things is known as panes. So this is known as filter pane, visualization pane, and data pane, right? So in visualization pane, obviously I am having the template of all the visualizations, so you can directly quickly plot the graphs. In the data panes, you'll be able to see the data columns. The data we have loaded, you'll be able to see the list of columns using which you are going to plot the graph. In the filter panes, you are going to filter the data, whatever you need, whatever you don't need. Okay, so that is about the right hand side of this Power BI desktop. Let me minimize this one. Now if you go to the top side, then you can see these are ribbons are there. In this case, different tab is available: home tab, insert tab, modeling tab. And in this each tab we are having group of tools. Like this is the data group. This group of tools are known as data group. This is query group, insert group, calculations, sensitivity, and so many things are there. And similarly in different tab we are having different groups. Now in our case, if we talk about data groups, here it's talking about all the like how you can collect the data, how you can create the data. In our case, we'll be using most of the time to get data, to connect the data, right? Similarly, if you go to query group, we are having transform data. So transform data is basically when you want to manipulate the data or modify the data. Like suppose you want to remove the missing values, you want to fix the data, remove duplicate values, all the different things you can do in transform data. In the insert, you can go and insert different objects like bottom, text box, all the different things you can do. Below you can see this is something known as well. If you talk about this report view, you can create multiple pages of canvas to do more and more analysis. We'll see that one. And below is known as status bar, where you can see the status of the object that you have selected. So that was about this Power BI desktop. Okay. Now let's quickly understand how we can load data to Power BI desktop. Now to load data to Power BI desktop, we'll be clicking on Get Data. If you click on Get Data, it will show you the list of different data sources from where you can collect the data. You can connect the data to this Power BI desktop. So you can see Excel, CSV, XML, JSON, so many different type of data are there, right? The data sources are there. And I think more than 100 data sources are there which Power BI supports, like databases, web pages, PDF file, everything, right? So in our case, our data is basically in the CSV file. So selecting CSV and click on Connect. Now, in your case, go to your dataset where you have kept that one. Like in my case, I have kept this in the project folder. So I'm going to project folder, and this is my project folder. Here I have dataset. After downloading the dataset, wherever you have kept, go there and open the data. If you click on connect to the data, open the data, then it will show you the preview of the data, and this window is known as the navigator window. In this navigator window, the window will little different for different type of data sources. Okay, so for now, what you can see here is basically showing the preview of the dataset. Now, in this case, you can see we are having three options: load, transform data, and cancel. If you don't want anything, you can just cancel data. If you want directly load the data, you can directly load the data. And if you think there are some issues are there, if you think there are some issues are there in the data, you can directly transform the data to fix them, right? But right now you can transform data later also, so it's better you can just load the data. Click on load to load the data. It may take little time depending upon the situations. Okay, depending upon your system resource. So now you can see my data is loaded, and once the data is loaded, you can see in the data pane the dataset name, the table name. In this table, you can see the column names also. Now to see the data in a more detailed form, what you can do, you can go to the table view. So you can see this is the table view. I can click on that to see the table view. So in the table view, we can see we are having country column, date column, sector column, and the value. So this value is nothing but the carbon footprint. And since you can see the data is we are having day-wise carbon footprint for a country, for every country we are having day-wise carbon footprint. Okay, so the value is written like very small values like 0.098. So this is like, in this case you have to understand what is the unit of this one. So basically this carbon footprint is in megaton. Okay, so this carbon footprint is in megaton. So don't get confused with the small values. And then you're having a timestamp, right? So these are different columns are there. Now let's try to modify the data. Since you can see the column here, let's modify the data. To modify data, you have to go to transform data. If you click on transform data, then it will open a new window known as Power Query Editor. So this is a very powerful tool where you can manipulate the data. You can do all the things like removing missing values, filling missing values, duplicate values, data cleaning, all the part you can do here. Okay, let's try to understand this interface a little bit. In this case, if you talk about the home page, you can see you're having different group of tools. So you can see manage columns. So whenever you want to remove some columns, you want to select some columns, you can use this tool. If you want to remove rows, like if you want to remove, let's say, if I click in the drop down, you can see remove the bottom rows, top rows, remove the alternate rows, remove duplicate values, remove blank rows, remove errors. So all the things you can do just by clicking here, right? Similarly, you're having so many different tools like splitting the columns, grouping the data, different things are there. Okay. Now the thing is, how will you know whether in your data will you be having some missing values or duplicate values? The window that you are seeing here, I think you will not be seeing in your system. This window that you are seeing here will not be seeing here. So what you do, go to View tab. If you go to the View tab, in the View tab, you can see you're having multiple options like column quality, column distributions, column profile. Now, in your case, it will be unticked. So the data will be looking like this. If you click on this column quality, it will show you in each column how many valid values are there, how many error values, and how many empty values are there. So like in my case, in this our data set, you can see all the 0%. So that means there is no missing value, there is no error value. So everything is looking perfect, right? Now, what you want to do in the value is a little confusing. So what you can do in this case, we can rename the value column. You can just right click here, and you can rename it, and you can just write the unit, and inside the bracket, I can write in megatons. I'm just writing like that, okay? So it will not be confusing. And what I am assuming, in the analysis, we don't need the timestamp, right? Timestamp column is not necessary for the analysis. It's just a given timestamp key at which time it's reported the data. So since we don't need this column, what I can do, if I want, I can go to home and I can remove the column, remove the selected column, and then timestamp is gone. So now you're having country, date, sector, and value. Now suppose if I want to do the analysis based on let's say year-wise analysis, but we are having only date. So if I want, I can create multiple extracted columns from the date columns. To do that one, what you can do, we can go to add columns. Basically in this case, we are writing the DAX expression, data analytics expressions. You can create in custom columns. And I want to create the custom column from the date column, but what I want to create? So you can just give the column name here, like I want to give, let's say, year. Okay. And in this year, what I want to do? I want to extract the year. I can just write year here. And I can get the formula date.year. So you have to write date.year. And inside the bracket, I can click on the date column. I can insert this date column and close the bracket. So that means from the date column, I'm extracting only the year. And if the no syntax error is found, then you can click on OK. And now you can see I have created a new column known as year column, which is extracting only the year from this date column. If you want, you can extract month and all the things. So for me, let's say everything is looking good. There is no missing values. I have extracted the year columns and all the things are done. So data preparation is done. Now also you can see what are the steps I'm applying. Everything is coming here. The applied steps, right? So these steps will not be applied. These steps will not be applied until I click on this one, close and apply, right? So to apply all the steps that I have done, I can just click on close and apply. And if I click on close and apply, then only all these things will be applied. Okay. Also, let's quickly understand this one. If I close and quick and apply, everything will be applied, and now I can see all the things in my Power BI desktop, right? So we have done the data cleaning part if it is necessary, and then we have created a new column also. Now let's see how we can build some visualizations. Let's have just quick starting. So to do the visualizations, you'll be in the visualization report view, and then what we'll do, basically, let's try to understand how many countries of data we are having. So in this data table, you click on the drop down, you're having different countries of data, right? So let's try to understand how many countries of data we are having. So to do that, maybe I can plot a car chart. You can see different type of chart template is there. Car chart is basically a simple chart where I can see only one value, right? So for the car chart, if I have select the car chart, you can see a new field is coming here. I can just select country here, right? And I don't want to see the first country. If you want to see whatever you want to do, you can just click on the drop down, and I can say I want to see the distinct count of the countries. And I can see, so that means in my data set, I'm having 14 different countries of data with different countries. Similarly, suppose I want to see what are different sectors of data are there. So I'll unselect this one, unselect the chart, and create a new car chart. In this new car chart, what you can do, you can select the sector in the field. So what I'm doing, basically I'm selecting the column and dragging it and dropping it in the field, right? And then I can also select your count of distinct sectors. So I can see 6 sectors are there. What are those 6 sectors? You can see here by clicking on the drop down. Having residential, domestic aviations, ground transport, industry, international aviations, power, all the things are there, right? So before doing this, it's better you understand the data. What are different type of data are there. Also, let's see how many years of data you are having, because you're having a year column, right? So how many years of data you are having? Again, I can create a card chart. I can select the years here, and then I can select the distinct count of the years. So I can see I'm having 5 years of data in my data set. Let's see from which year to which year. That means from 2019 to 2023. Correct? Now let's do a little bit more chart. So let's say I want to see sector-wise total amount of carbon footprint. So I want to see in the sector in the x-axis, in the y-axis I want to see the carbon footprint. So what I can do for that, I can use a column chart. So I'll just click on a column chart. In the x-axis I'll keep sector. In the y-axis I'll keep the value. And you can see, I can see sector-wise carbon footprint. So I could have changed the number of column name, that is value. I can change that onto carbon footprint, but it's okay. I haven't changed, so that's okay. You can go and change that one by going to transform columns and going to Power Query Editor. You can rename the column names. But in this case, what you can see, if we talk about the overally means all over the years, all over the countries, all over the years. In the power sector, we are having the highest amount of carbon footprint. So this is the graph we are able to see, right? So we'll explore about this in more details, how we can build more different type of charts. We can extract more beautiful informations from the data in the next week. But I hope we are clear in this week that what is Power BI Desktop, what is you have understood the user interface of Power BI Desktop, different component of Power BI, and how to load data and how to do the basic data cleaning, or maybe creating new columns and all the things, right? And also I have showed you how to do a very basic visualizations, right? So I hope we are clear about these things. We'll explore more about these visualizations and we'll plot more graphs, different type of graphs from the data, and we'll extract meaningful information from the data in the next week. Till that, I hope you can do this. Thank you everyone. See you in the next week. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the project Visualizing Carbon Footprint Across Sector using Power BI. Right? So we have already discussed so many things about this project in the last week. We discussed, let's have a quick recap. Okay, what are the things we have done? So in the last week, we talked about how to download the dataset, how to download the Power BI desktop. And then we also talk about how you can explore and understand the Power BI interface. You understood the different component of Power BI and the Power Query editor. Then we saw how we can load data in Power BI desktop and what are different type of data we can load. Then at the end, we did a little basic data cleaning part using Power Query editor, and we saw how to create new columns, how to remove columns, all the different things we saw. And finally, we did a little part of visualizations to extract information from the data. So this week, the plan is something different. This week, we are going to build more visualizations using the dataset in Power BI Desktop to extract more useful information from the data, right? So to do that one, again, open your Power BI Desktop, which you have created last time. I hope you must have saved that one, the things we have done till this point. If you don't know how to save, you can click on the save and you can save this location in some location. So we have done this much visualizations in the last time. Now let's try to explore more about the dataset. What are the extra things we can do, right? So basically, you have the dataset. We have to explore the dataset. We have to plot visualizations to extract more information from the data, right? So start building the visualizations. Let's quickly do it. Now we have seen if we talk about all the countries of data, all the sectors of data, all the quantities of data and all 5 years of data, then you can see that power is having the highest contribution for the carbon footprint, correct? And then industries, then ground transport, and then residential, then international aviations and domestic transport. Now also we can see we have already exported the years, right? So we can see how the carbon footprint changing over the year, right? So to do that one, if we want to see based on the year, then we have to do a line chart, right? Because this is a evolution, this is a trend. So let's give year in the x-axis, and let's give value in the y-axis, the sum of values. So what happens in this case? Okay, this is not sorted properly. Maybe we can sort this data. Sort axis is basically a year. Okay, and maybe I can do something like ascending sort. So we can see over the years, if we talk about the carbon footprint, over the years you can see in 2019 something was there, in 2020 it was less, and then it's again increasing in 2021 and 2022, and then suddenly it's decreased in 2023. So why it is like that? Why it is decreasing in 2023? Maybe because we don't have the data, all the data of 2023. So let's explore that one also. Let's try to explore that one also. Okay, why it is looking like that? Suddenly, why it's decreasing in 2023? So what we can do? We can plot another line chart. Okay, where we are going to where what we can do? We can maybe extract the month to see what are different month of data are there, or maybe you don't have to extract it because in the date column we already have the hierarchy, a date hierarchy, that is year, quarter, and month. So what you can do, in the x-axis put the month, in the y-axis put the value, but only see this data for the last year, 2023. So what we can do for that, we can go into filter, and we can filter the month. We don't want to filter the month. We want to filter based on some different data. So we want to filter based on the year. Okay, so I can take year and add the field here, and to filter only for 2023. And if you see, if I'm filtering only for 2023 of data, see, month and summer values are there, but we are only seeing the 2023 data now. We are not seeing all other data. You can see in 2023 we are only having from January to May. But if we check for other column, other years of data, we are having from January to December. So that means in 2023 we don't have all the data. We don't have data, all the data. So it's better if we don't use this data. Why? Because otherwise it will disturb our analysis. It will give a wrong insight about the analysis, right? So what we can do for the analysis, we can directly remove these years. Means we don't want to select this one. So to do that one, you can go to transform data, and you will say what are the years are there in the year column. What are the years are there? I don't want to. Let's load everything, and I don't want to select 2023. So I'm filtering the data. Means in my data set 2023 will not be available anymore. So if I close and apply again, wait a moment, and see, now we don't have 2023 data. So because of that, it's missing now. So now this is a better options. This is giving a better result now. Okay, and you can see it's not like it's like too much reduce. It's basically 72 to 70 71 or something. So it's just looking like this, but this is looking proper now. And you can see in 2020 the carbon emission is too less. Maybe it's because of the COVID or all the things we don't know, right? Now suppose you want to see this line chart sector wise, then we can do that also. Means this is the chart is showing for different years for all the sectors, right? So if I want to see sector wise, then in the legend I can add the sector, and it's showing me different sectors. So you can see which color it is. It is basically power. So power is having highest, and then this is the orange color. This is industry. So you can see how things have changed over the years. If you want, you can see that also, right? But for now, I'm not keeping sectors. So let's keep it like this way. So now we understood how the carbon footprint has changed over the years. You can see only in 2020 it reduced too much, and then suddenly it's increasing only. Let's go to new page and let's do some more analysis. Suppose we want to see over all these 5 years of data, usually in which month we are having more carbon footprint. So you can see on an average each month what is happening. We can see that one, right? So for that, what we can do a, let's say a column chart. In the column chart, you can put the month in the x-axis, and in the y-axis we can put the value. Okay, either you can do sum of values or you can do average of values. So month wise you are getting the average. So on an average from the last 5 years, you can see usually you are having more carbon footprint over all the sectors. You are not checking for individual sector, over all the sectors, and it is happening less in June month, and then it's little constant somewhere, and in December and January is increasing. So something is happening in December and January which is creating more carbons. Okay, but it again depends upon the sectors. So maybe if you want to see sector wise, we can do that one, but it will be a little more complex. So in the legend I can add sector, or I can put the sector in the legend, and I can see if for every month what is the contribution of each sector. Okay, or maybe what you can do, or maybe instead of legend, you can create instead of column chart, you can create a cluster column chart. Okay, in the cluster column chart, I can give the sector in the y-axis itself. So I'm giving 2 axes. Sorry. In the x-axis, I have to give the sector, date and sector. So you can see for every month in which sector what is happening. You can see that one, right? In which sector what is happening. But again, it will be a little more complex, so it's better to not to use this one, right? Anyway, so now what you can understand on an average, you can see on May month you are having in June, May month you are having the lowest carbon emissions. Okay, that's a good understanding. Now let's see country-wise. Key, out of all these 14 countries, which country is contributing more to the carbon footprint overall? Let's see that one. Okay, maybe I can plot one more graph that is again a column chart, and I'm having 14 countries, so I'm keeping countries into x-axis, and then I'm keeping values. So I'm checking for the last 5 years of values. Okay, here we are having world, means overall whole world, how much amount of carbon footprint is there, but we don't want the world, right? So what we can do in this case, we can use the filter. We can go to filter, in the country list I can click on the drop down, I can say basic filtering, and I don't want to select world, so I'll select everything but not world. And now you can see after applying the filter, you can see China is contributing the highest amount, okay, in the carbon footprint. India is having like 2 less, not that much, right? So you can see how country is like different countries are contributing more to the carbon footprint, right? Similarly, we can see even China also, like here you can see if for this China, how they are doing sector wise. If I want, I can create multiple charts. Okay, so sector wise chart. So I can create small multiples here. So you'll be able to see country wise carbon emissions, but for different sector. So for this, what I can do, I can copy this chart to a new page because multiple charts I'm creating. I'm pasting it here, Control V, and then in this chart, in this you can see small multiples are there, right? Where I can keep a sector, let's say, and you can see the graph in different sector. Like in domestic sector, you can see China is highest in industry. So because of the industry, China is having more emissions, right? Let's see. Here you can see if we talk about the aviation or ground transport. In the ground transport, this row is something is there, and then if we talk about the power, in the power also China is having a highest contribution on the carbon footprint, and then also you're having India. In residentials, you can say China and UK is there little bit. So you can see the most of the contributions are coming from industry, and then power and all these things. Okay, so this is how you can see the graph also. So basically in this case, I'm just trying to give you an idea okay, how we can plot different type of graph to extract information about the graph, extract information from the data. So different type of graph we can plot, multiple charts you can create to extract information about the data, right? So that was my basic idea of showing you how you can do different type of visualizations to see how you can extract the information from the data, right? So you can go and try all the different possibilities. What other things you want? I want to see country-wise, let's say carbon emissions, sector-wise carbon emissions. I want to say year-wise carbon emissions. All the different things you can plot, and you can go and explore all the different things, right? So I hope we'll go and explore. I have given you a basic idea how you can plot different type of graphs. You can use filters, you can use slicers. So I'll just show you one more thing here. So all the graph that I have done, in this case, suppose I want to, let's come back to page number 1. And in this case, suppose here you're having year, you're having power, right? Suppose in this case, I want to create a slicer. Slicer means which will slice the data. It will create a subset of the data. I can give a slicer here. And in the slicer, suppose I'm giving a sector. So now all the data that you're seeing here, if I select domestic aviations, all the things will change. See. Based on domestic aviation's data, this is showing only the ground transport, only the industry, only the international aviations. So you can see I can use a slicer to filter the data also. Correct? So all those different things you can do, you can go and explore all the different type of visualizations to extract more information about the data. So in the next week, what we are going to do, in the next week, we are going to use all these different chart to build a dashboard, right? To build a dashboard, which can give us more so more information about the data set, about the analysis in a single chart. So I hope you will go and explore all the different type of charts, all the different type of possibilities to extract more information about the data. And whatever things you are doing, don't forget to save your Power BI files using this save button. Okay. So thank you everyone. See you in the next week where we will be building a dashboard using this Power BI desktop. Thank you everyone. Hello all. Welcome back to the project Visualizing Carbon Footprint across sectors using Power BI. So this is the third week. We have already done week 1 and week 2. In the week 1, we talked about how to load the data, to understand the Power BI desktop interface, and to do the data cleaning part, a basic data cleaning part, and a basic data visualizations. In the second week, we talked about how we can use different type of chart, different type of graphs to extract information from the data. So we are exploring different type of chart to extract more and more information from the data. And now in the week 3, we are going to build a dashboard using that. Now quickly let me show you what is the meaning of building a dashboard. Okay, here you can see a dashboard. Let me just quickly show you what is a dashboard first, and then we'll talk how we can build a dashboard using Power BI. Now dashboard is nothing but a single page that you can see here, right? In this single page we have kept different charts and different visualizations, right? So what is the most important point about the dashboard? Dashboard is basically for someone, for your client or for your stakeholders, where you want to show the most important information in a single graph, in a single place. You don't want to go here and there and you have to show, because there will be more non-technical people, so you're just showing them the insight that you have extracted. So in the dashboard, what will happen? We will keep all the different type of charts which are very important for the analysis. Like when you're analyzing the data, that times basically we are doing so many different type of analysis, but not all the analysis are important for the business or for any type of things that you are using, right? So in the dashboard, basically what we do, we keep only the most important chart, which is giving some insight that can help in improving something or something like that. Those type of chart only will keep in the dashboard in a single page in a more beautiful way. So this type of things is known as a dashboard. Now we'll see. So this is a dashboard that I have created. It's like I have given the name here, right? How to create a dashboard? Let's just quickly understand. We have already done the analysis, right? Like different type of analysis. We have already done different graphs. We have already plotted so many graphs. We have plotted, and we have already extracted so many informations. Now, how to build a dashboard? So you can create a new canvas. If you want, you can just rename it to dashboard. I'll just rename it to dashboard 2. And then it's always good to give a heading or title, right? So what I can do, I can insert a text box. Here I can write carbon footprint analysis, right? And then if I want, I can select all. I can increase the font size to, let's say, 24, and then make it bold, and then rearrange it like this one. I can just do it here also. I make it a little small, something like this, right? And then I want to make it in the center, so I can just keep it in the center. And then suppose I want to change the color, change the background color. So if you see, if I'm selecting outside, it's showing me the visuals and other things. If I'm selecting the text box, directly coming with the format text box option. I can go to Effect tab and I can change the background color. Maybe I can give a background color like something like this. And now I have given the header. Now what you can do, let's after doing that one, go and see which informations are important for you. Like we can see, is sum of values of megaton by sector. So this is an important chart, right? Where it is showing is sector wise how much carbon emissions are happening. So this is an important chart. I'll just copy it. Either you can do right click and copy, or you can just press Ctrl C to copy. And go back to this dashboard page and paste it here. And here I can paste it. Right? Maybe I can make it like this, small, big, whatever you want, you can do it. And also, like everything is looking so white, right? So I have selected canvas, nothing is selected now. If I want, I can go to format and I can change the canvas background color. Maybe I can give something like this one. And then after doing the color, you have to change the transparency also. So I maybe make it 50%. Okay, now it's looking good. So okay, I see this is a important chart for me. Now go to next page. Which else are important chart for me? Again, this is a chart which is showing a pie chart. Here you can create a pie chart like this from here. And this pie chart is showing me the percentage of carbon emission, the contribution of carbon emission done by every sector. So I think this is an important chart. I'll go back to dashboard. I'll put it here and copy paste and just rearrange it. So now you can understand, right, how we are doing this dashboard. Basically, in the dashboard, we are copying and pasting the charts which are very important for us and putting them in the dashboard in a more beautiful way. What else is important for me? Let's see. So you can see year-wise contributions to the carbon emissions. This is also important chart, right? I'm copying this one and pasting in the place here. So it's not like I'm just showing you how to build a dashboard. I'm not doing exactly showing you which chart you should keep, which chart you should not keep. You should decide that one based on your analysis, which chart is important for you and which chart is not. Okay, depending upon the system. Now also we can see we are having average of value month-wise. Means it is showing in month-wise trend in which month you are having the lowest amount. Either you can use a column chart, you can line chart also you can do because this is a trend, or maybe this is important for me, so I'll keep in the dashboard or in the page 4. Maybe I want to, instead of that, I want to keep this one. Which country is contributing more to the carbon emission? This is more important than that, right? For me, it's more important than that. So I'm just putting this one here, right? And then maybe I can put some of the things like I can put sector-wise analysis, sector-wise filtrations, year-wise filtrations. So for that, I can add some slicer. Like I have a sector-wise slicer. I can copy this sector-wise slicer to here. So what I can do, I can filter the data using sector-wise. And then also I have something like year-wise slicer. I can take this year-wise slicer also to the dashboard so that I can have a year-wise slicing, right? Maybe I can keep it like this somewhere just to make it beautiful, and maybe I can make it a little smaller. And then let's keep some of the data from this one. Let's keep some of the data from this one. Also, what we can do, maybe we can put some of the information like how many countries data are there, how many years of data is there, the country sectors. I can keep this chart also in the dashboard. You can just rearrange them. Maybe I can put this chart. I have copy and pasted here. I can make it small, maybe something like that. And I can put it here. So basically, I'm building a single page where I can show so many information to the client or the stakeholders. So this is how we build a dashboard that can help us to showcase all the important insight that we have extracted from the data to the stakeholders easily. So it's not like whatever, I'm not telling you which information you should keep. It depends upon you which one you want to keep and which one you don't want to keep, depending upon your importance of the analysis, right? So you can see these are all these charts are very interactive chart. So if I'm using a filter, I'm just giving a filter and based on that every data is changing, you can see, right? Similarly, if I'm seeing sectors and based on sectors, everything is changing, right? And also what you can do is without using this slicer also, you can see this one. Suppose I want to see about power. If I click on the power, based on it, all the graph is changing. If I, let's say, want to know about China, okay, what is happening in China? See, China contributions, the US contributions, all those things you can see. So this is how you can build a beautiful interactive dashboard that you can showcase to our stakeholders about our insight that we have extracted. So I hope you got the idea okay, how to build a dashboard. So go and explore what are different type of charts you can create, how you can build a beautiful dashboard by adding different buttons, by giving different colors to the chart, all the things you can do to make it more beautiful and more interactive. So I hope everything is clear to everyone. Thank you everyone for doing this project.